Good morning. This is Tiamat Medusa, the Dragon Lady. This morning I woke up with a song playing in my head. The song titled World by the Bee Gees. This song dates back to the 1960s when I was a little boy. And it's still one of my favorite songs today. So it was playing in my mind nonstop. The second I opened up my eyes, so I had to play it. And I enjoyed my morning music. That's how I started my day today. It was, it put a big smile on my face to see a comment from my friend Chris Stiles and Clyde, two transgender men who commented on one of my videos. And I just want to say thank you to my friends, to those of you here with me, listening to me, and I appreciate your comments and your support. Every morning I wake up and the question runs through my mind: how am I doing today? And a question that rang in my mind this morning is a question that I get from people online a lot. How did you sleep? Well, my answer to that is I slept with my eyes closed. How about you? My morning started off so quiet and peaceful here in my Oblivion in the heart of Hollywood, California. West Hollywood, to be precise. Because there is a difference. There's North, South, East, and West Hollywood. I live in West Hollywood, right in the middle of it all, surrounded by all the production companies, all up and down my street. And I walk by them when I take my girls out for their walk in the evenings. And sometimes we go down Sunset Boulevard during the day. But yesterday, we took a detour and decided to walk up and down Hollywood Boulevard, because we hadn't been walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard in quite a few months. I've been sticking to my sunset walks. I love my street. The street I live on is so beautiful and so peaceful. Quite the contrast from the hustle and bustle and the busyness of Hollywood, which is just 2 blocks over, and the street runs parallel to Sunset Boulevard where I live. But we had a nice walk yesterday down Hollywood Boulevard, and we might do it again this afternoon, since it was a pleasant experience yesterday. This morning's walk with the girls was my usual walk down to walking by the police station, City Hall, and the fire department. It's always a pleasant walk. And I'm always greeted by a family of crows, and they start calling at me. The moment I hear them, I look up and there they are. 4 or 5 of them, sometimes up to 15 crows, are gathered around, and they talk to me, and I talk back to them. I call them my babies. And I wish them a beautiful day, and I blow kisses at them. And I tell them to tell the rest of the crow family that I love them. That's what I do. I love talking to animals more than I do more than I like talking to humans. The animals and I have a way of communicating with one another. And it's always a conversation between us that's pure and simple. And it makes me feel good. I love crows. They remind me of my girlfriend Asia. Whenever I see the crows around me and they're talking to me, I always feel like it's my Asia, my beautiful girlfriend. She's the crow in my life. And she tells me that where she lives now, where she lives in Texas, where I'm from originally, she sees buzzards on the highway. And every time she sees buzzards on the highway, she stops and takes pictures of them and sends them to me. Because buzzards remind her of me. Because she knows how much I love buzzards. They take me back to my childhood days. To the first time when I first saw a buzzard out in the country, and on where I used to live as a kid. And where I grew up, they were always around. I love buzzards. A lot of people think that they're ugly birds, but to me they're beautiful. Just as beautiful as the crows. So Asia, my girlfriend Asia and I, are always in each other's thoughts, in each other's minds, and in each other's hearts. And we always look to the external world to see one another and experience one another's love in the beautiful creatures that we see. I wanted to pray this morning to start off listening to a psalm. I like the Psalms. The Psalms are one of my favorite parts of the Bible. But for some reason, I couldn't get into it this morning when I put on my sermon. It's an hour-long sermon that I listened to on YouTube. And for some reason, I couldn't get into it. I kept hearing the song World by the Bee Gees playing in my mind, interrupting my thoughts, saying, no, you can't listen to the Psalms. Today's not a Psalm day. Today is a world day. So I'm taking that as a clue. When I woke up with that song playing in my mind, that today was a day for the world, for me to be in the world, although I don't consider myself to be of the world like Jesus. I am in the world, but I'm not of the world. So I played that song several times just to get a good dose of it. And I did that while fixing my breakfast, which was basically a plate of refried beans that I had cooked last night in my crock pot. I put them on and left them cooking in my crock pot. And I went to sleep. Then I woke up at 3 a.m. as if with an alarm, but without an alarm. Maybe it was the Holy Spirit nudging at me, telling me that my beans were cooked. So I got up at 3 a.m. and turned the crock pot off and just let the beans sit there. And I went back to bed for a few more hours. Then I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I got up. That's how I started my day. And yes, I slept with my eyes closed. That's how I slept last night. I hope all of you listening here also slept with your eyes closed, because I'd be worried about you if you didn't. I want to talk about my disappearing from social media, which I've done several times over the last year, but I always came back. I had every intention to just disappear from social media completely and live my life as a stoic, in private, away from the hustle and bustle of the world, away from the demands of the world. But I kept feeling the tug in my heart, the tug to return to social media, to be with my friends, to be with the world, to be in the world and live in the world. That's why that song played in my mind first thing this morning. If you haven't listened to it, you should. In fact, I recommend all the Bee Gees music from the 1960s. That's one of my favorite albums. Contains all the songs from the 1960s, the top hits rather, from the Bee Gees, one of my favorite all-time groups. So I decided to come back to social media, not because I need social media, not because I crave social media, the attention, the likes, the applause, but I do like performing for my friends. And I'm glad that it makes them happy whenever I do performance videos and post them to my Facebook, post them to my social media platforms. And now that I've started my day off, what will I do? What am I going to do today? I'm not going to walk around with my eyes closed. I'll walk around with my eyes open. And my dog Kira is telling Freya to not bother her right now because she's eating her breakfast. Putting her on notice that she'll be in trouble if she dares to get close to her plate, which never happens. It's all a threat. My dogs threaten one another through barks and growls and the showing of the teeth. And I laugh. They make me laugh because they've never been in a fight. But they always act like they're going to get into a fight. But they never do. And they never will. They're the most beautiful dogs. I'm so lucky to have them in my life. So blessed. So what am I going to do for the rest of my day today? After I finish this video and post it to my YouTube? I'm going to work on some of my projects. Not start, continue working on my projects. I have several projects in the pipeline right now. At the very top of that, my priorities of my projects are my book projects. One book featuring my artwork, which will also feature my poetry. Each piece of my artwork that will be featured in my book will be accompanied by a poem that explains and talks about the meaning of the paintings. So that will keep me busy today. I'm also going to be doing videos and continue working on my life story project, my life story book. I have a name for my book telling my life story. The name of the book is The Good, the Bad, and the Beautiful. Because it took the good that happened in my life, along with the bad that happened in my life, to yield the beautiful that is my life today. I guess the way I see it, it reminds me of planting corn out in the fields as a kid. How the corn is planted in the soil, and once it germinates and starts to grow, it has to bust, the seed of corn, the kernel of corn, has to bust out of its shell in order to be able to grow into a plant. So the pain of that shell breaking and the plant starting to grow was what I relate to as I put my book together. Hence the name of the story, The Good, the Bad, and the Beautiful. Like the corn germinating in the ground, going through the process of absorbing the water, the nutrients from the soil, and the pain of growing upwards, reaching up to the sky, yielding the fruit, if corn is a fruit, or a vegetable, if corn is a vegetable. Sometimes I wonder what it actually is, because sometimes corn tastes sweet to me. So in my mind, if I'm eating something and it tastes sweet, it should be a fruit. But I think corn is a vegetable. I don't know if the fact that it's not juicy like a watermelon, if that makes it a vegetable or not. Or if that disqualifies the corn from being a fruit. My logic is all over the place. Sometimes I don't understand my own logic. I'm looking at my dog Kira now after she's eaten her breakfast. Now she's rolling on her back on the bed, wagging her tail, happy that she's got a full belly. While Freya is looking at me, rolling her eyes. You can ask my cousin Priscilla. Freya's very good about rolling her eyes, and she makes the cutest facial expression with those eye rolls. Anyway, I'll be spending my day today working on my projects. I will be doing a couple of performance videos on Facebook and other social media platforms to keep my followers entertained. I love to entertain people. I've been an entertainer since I was 6 years old. That's when I did my first drag show out on the farm late at night with my parents and at a friend of theirs house. It was a neighboring ranch close to where we lived. One of the daughters of our neighbors had a transistor radio. This is back in the late 1960s, 1968. And the song Bird is the Word started to play. And something just overcame me. I don't know what it was. This had never happened before. I was so young. I didn't know what I was doing. But I jumped up and started dancing to Bird is the Word. People were clapping, laughing and smiling, and throwing quarters and nickels and dimes at me. I didn't know why they were throwing money at me. I had no idea that was considered a tip for a good performance. So I'm glad they enjoyed my performance. And I'm glad that my friends on Facebook and other social media platforms enjoy my performances as well. So I'll be doing that today. And in closing on this video, because I'm reaching the 20-minute mark, I'm keeping my videos at 20 minutes. I want to wish my family and my friends, all my followers, a beautiful day full of blessings, love, peace, and happiness. And I'll see you in the next video. Much love, everyone. From the heart of Oblivion in Hollywood, California.